Hi guys, my name is Joe, and you must be wondering, how do you meditate? So, allow me to give you this short guide, very simple, on how you can get started right away. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you a couple great benefits that I'm sure you can all relate to. So the first thing that you want to do is, you're going to want to focus on your breath. So where do you start? First thing you want to do is take a deep breath through your nose and then out through your mouth. And when you're taking this breath, make sure you let it's natural. So the first thing that it's going to go up through your nose, into your stomach. And then when you exhale, you're going to let your stomach and diaphragm do all the work for you. So give you a nice release. You'll feel a pulse almost. And you're only going to get that if you let it go all by itself. You're not going to get that if you're controlling it, so don't control it, just let it go all by itself. The next thing you're going to want to do after you take a couple of those deep breaths is you are going to want to start focusing on the breath itself. And just let the sensations sort of draw your attention, let your attention rest there. And while you're doing this, a lot of thoughts are going to come to mind. Some distracting ones, some of them much more distracting than others. Some of them might be downright terrible for some people, and that's completely okay. I can completely relate. When I first started meditating years ago, I had terrible thoughts come to mind. I think sometimes it was just out of spite, just to see how bad they can get. So please, if there's one thing you shouldn't be hard on yourself about, this is the thoughts that come to mind during your meditation. So while you're focusing on your breath, you're really just going to be acknowledging these thoughts. It's a very gentle acknowledgement. And then once you notice that you've gotten distracted, come back to the breath. So the idea is to be focused on the breath the whole time. That's your goal. It's not going to happen, but that's the goal. And while you're focusing on this breath, you are going to have a lot of thoughts. Notice when you become distracted, come right back to your breath. And what this does is it helps you practice focus and awareness. Focus being you're focusing on your breath, and you're focusing on that one thing, that one very basic bodily function. And the awareness part being, while you're focusing on that breath, there is also all the thoughts that come to mind, and the way your brain tries to go about analyzing and thinking about those thoughts, right? How you think about them, how you analyze them, what other thoughts come to mind. All these things are extremely valuable in getting to know yourself. So, and just accept. And the best way you can practice acceptance is to simply just let them be and come right back to your breath when you notice that you've gotten distracted. That's really all there is to it. So that's just that's meditation. It's that simple. You just focus on your breath and you accept whatever thoughts come to mind. So let's talk about the benefits. So let's just say you're stuck in traffic, right? Traffic. Just, I gotta get home so that I can watch Game of Thrones and play World of Warcraft. And so, alright, so let's just say you're focused on traffic, right? And it's not a great feeling, right? No one wants to be focused on traffic. It gives you more bad feelings come to mind. That's really just how traffic works, is it eats you alive. And I shouldn't say all people. Some people can relax in traffic, but if you're one of those people who, I mean, like me, a while ago, is just, if you've ever really looked at your breathing, it's like so shallow. You're like stuck in traffic, and you're like, you got this shallow breathing thing going on, and you're just think, you can almost hear my voice change when I'm thinking about it. How like you just get tense because you're like, I'm wasting time. I think that's one of our things, is like we're so worried about wasting time, and traffic is like the epitome of wasting time, because you're wasting time and gas, and you're on the road and you're with everyone else, and it's I can feel myself getting flustered just thinking about it. So you're stuck in traffic, and let's just say you practiced your focus, right? So now, instead of being so focused on the traffic, you focus on one thing, just one thing to appreciate, while you're in that traffic. You know, whether it's let's just say it's a warm day, very hot day, scorcher, and you have a nice cool AC going, you know, so instead of focusing on the traffic, and you're not really going to be focusing on the traffic, you're just going to be stuck in traffic, and it's going to be stressing you out. You'll be thinking about work and what you have to do when you get home, and the laundry, and I gotta buy this for the kids, and oh my god, I forgot to pick up detergent, and you know, that's sort of what erupts from the traffic. That's the explosion generated by it. And so instead of all these things, you know, you really just find one thing to focus on that you enjoy, whether it's a thought, like a pleasant idea, or just one thing you can truly appreciate. Not one thing that you want to appreciate, one thing that you can appreciate in that moment. So if it's not the AC, then maybe it's how green the trees are, or how you have a nice panoramic view of the city in front of you, or you know, whatever it is to you. It can really be anything, as long as it's just one thing you can appreciate. So that's one of the most major benefits. I'd say that the second major benefit, and this goes hand in hand, is your ability to focus when you're not feeling good, when you're feeling upset. So let's just say you have an important interview, right? And you're tense, and you're worried about things going in. Well, one of the things that you learn when you meditate is how to stay relaxed while you have all these things going on. And this does take quite a bit of practice, but I just have to throw it out there now because it truly is important. You develop a way to relax yourself. You can just stay relaxed, you know. You're gonna have all these thoughts that come to mind, but you can still relax at the same time. And it almost seems paradoxical. And you know, from a normal viewpoint, it really is. But at the same time, it's completely possible to do. They really are just thoughts. And you know, it's almost as if, like, if you tell yourself, you know, oh, if I'm worried, if I'm focused, if I'm worried and stressed out, then it's gonna make things worse. The interview is not gonna be as good. Then that's not good for you. You know, so where do you put your focus? We don't have to just relax. You know, you relax and focus on what you have to do. So worrying's not going to help you, and worrying's seldom ever going to help you unless, you know, you're being attacked by a bear and you need to, you know, really amp up those fight or flight responses so you can focus on something else, and you know, running and whatever. But besides that, in your day-to-day, you know, the most important thing is to simply focus your awareness on what you need to do next. You know, you're gonna have a lot of emotions that, you know, come and go throughout the day, and that's okay. You know, you'll notice them. Most of the time we notice when we're feeling bad, and we never really notice and take the time out of the day to just notice when we're feeling really good. You know, for some people it's seldom, but it's extremely important to know that, and just take the time to appreciate when we're feeling upbeat and good about things. Because when we're not feeling so good, then the memories of the times that we do feel good in between, they come to mind. And I gotta tell you, for me personally, they really do, you know, brighten things a little bit. Sometimes I remember one time I was driving my car, and I was really depressed. Maybe I hadn't eaten, or it might have been like right after a breakup or something like that. And I could like feel how like down I was, and I like just notice it, and it's sort of like almost like a third person noticing these things, because that's what you're doing when you're developing your meditative practices. You're almost developing a third person who's looking upon yourself. I just noticed how I was feeling, and how my body was feeling, and how my mind was reacting to things, and almost it was a clear sort of point of view, unbiased, unfettered by, you know, garbage almost. And I literally not burst out laughing, but I like it was such a moment of like a huge beam of sunshine just bursting through darkness. And it's moments like that make me feel blessed that I was able to find and appreciate. This is about appreciate what it is to be mindful and meditate. So that being said, I hope that you find your ray of sunshine, and just remember to smile, And, you know, when you have things right, you will know. It won't be much of a question on your mind. So, that's all for today, and I will be back with more videos on how to meditate and just other psychology stuff. So, hope to see you soon. Peace.